Well, I'm down here hanging out at Pier 8, which is the wonderful waterfront area here in Hamilton. I'm in the harbor area right now, just taking a break on a bike ride out today, and just a nice recovery ride. I was away in Sarnia, put out a pretty heavy workout, and my legs are feeling like rubber, and I'm just feeling a little tanked out, but I wanted to get out on this gorgeous June day and enjoy the sunshine. And I've been thinking a lot about self-improvement recently. So I had a client at the gym. I have a lot of clients at the gym that are looking for weight loss, but this one client was really struggling with like how to count calories and what a deficit was. So I decided I'm going to download a few apps, try them out myself, and see which is the best app to help this person out. And through that process, I began to count my own calories, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try and get down to the infamous, in the fitness world, the infamous single-digit body fat, right? I was sitting at about between 10.5% and 11%, and I thought, let's see if I can get under 10%. And in this process, I also started to notice that my macros were out of whack. I was raised in the late 70s and early 80s with the food pyramid, where you were supposed to have grains, like a starch, a pasta, a bread, some sort of like starch in every meal. And then I was a chef and I worked in restaurants for years, and it's like 3 squares, right? Like some sort of starch, because starch is cheap, right? You want to pile on the pasta or the rice or the potatoes, it's cheap, and then a portion of protein, and then some sort of veg, right? And my macros were way out of proportion. Like I was having like 65% carbs and like 15% protein, right? And then like 30% fat, 35% fat sometimes. And I've always tried to eat a fairly healthy diet, but I noticed, and I should know this from understanding nutrition, but there was just so many hidden sources of sugar. They're not hidden, but I wasn't taking them as sources of sugar. I have chocolate almond milk, and there's a whole bunch of carbs in there. Of course, it's sweetened, but you don't think about how much extra sugar is in that. And then I was having vanilla yogurt, vanilla vegan yogurt, but it's sweetened, and there's a bunch of sugar in that. And I just started to notice how out of whack everything was. And over the last month, I have drastically changed my diet, like drastically. I guess not drastically. I didn't flip the whole apple cart over, but I started to cut out a lot of the unnecessary carbs. And then I started to look for alternatives. And I used your friendly neighborhood AI to kind of ask for some like, hey man, what can I put in instead of this? And what can I put in instead of that? And there's a few things that I just absolutely love that I won't get rid of, but I'll just reduce, like peanut butter. I love peanut butter too much, but I've just reduced it from probably like literally 6 tablespoons on a slice of bread. So it was like friggin' half-inch thick to like just a thin spread. And it made me think a lot about just self-improvement overall. And I really do strive for self-improvement constantly. I'm an avid learner, an autodidact, as they say. I like to learn on my own. But I read a lot. I read a lot of reference books, like books on nutrition or books on weight training, or books. Right now I'm reading a book on biology. I also read novels. I'm an avid reader. I'm always trying to improve my strength training, improve my technique, improve my knowledge, improve my understanding. I'm always trying to improve physically in terms of like my cardiovascular health. I'm always trying to push myself. And going through this separation with my wife, I really tried to improve my emotional maturity. Like it hurt to know that she found someone else, but at the same time, I wasn't mad at her. I know this stuff happens. This is not the first marriage that ever ended because somebody fell for somebody else. And I also accept my role in how the marriage disintegrated. Like over time, I went through a really rough patch of depression and addiction to cannabis. And I know people would laugh when I say that, but like cannabis took me down a real messed up spiral in my head. So I'm well aware of what I did that made it difficult for me to live with. But I've tried to be very mature about this whole situation. I want my wife. She still is my wife, but we're separated. I want her to be happy. And I want her to find someone that shares her interests and her passion. And I don't know if that's just part of my personality or if that demonstrates emotional maturity, but again, I'm always trying to work on myself. I want to improve. I want to be a better version of myself every day. I want to be more knowledgeable. I want to be more wise. I want to be more mature, more empathetic, more understanding. I want to be physically better and stronger. I want to learn new skills. And this diet has really been the last piece of this puzzle. Like and it was an accident that I sort of fell into this, but I'm so glad I did. And I've cleaned my diet up so much. Like my carbs are now down to about 45 to 50% of my diet, maybe even a little less some days. My protein's up to about 45%. I'm getting around 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, which is like ideal for an athlete. I've got my fat down to like 25% to 28%. So I'm in a great zone. And I really feel like this was the last piece of the puzzle. I quit drinking around 13 years ago. I became vegan due to a stomach issue, the same stomach issue that caused me to stop drinking. And, not that like eating meat is a problem, but like I felt like a vegan diet is a healthier diet, a plant-based diet, and now I've cleaned that up. I quit cannabis. Like a lot of the vices I feel were dragging me down and tend to drag a lot of people down in this world. I've managed to shed off. And at this point, I just don't see myself ever having another partner again. And I feel like I'd be a much better partner to somebody now, but it's just, I'm just too focused on my own self-improvement and just leading the best life I can lead right now. And for me, that just means being on my own right now and focusing on all of these things. And you hear a lot of stuff in the health and wellness and improvement area, and I think a lot of it's just hype, man. Maybe I'm old school, but I just believe if you exercise, you really are careful about your diet, like legitimately careful. And it took this wake-up call for me counting calories to realize my diet wasn't all that great. But I think that's all you really need to do. You do the best you can, right? You can't shield yourself from every disease or every ailment or every injury or pitfall that life has waiting for us out there. But, if something happens to me, at least I know I've done the best I can to maintain good health, to keep myself fit, and to just lead a meaningful life every day. But that's my 2 cents on self-improvement, and I should get back to self-improvement right now and get on my bike. I still got another hour or so of cruising around and enjoying the sunshine, and I'll see you in another video.